Okay, we're looking at page 681 in our Math Volume 2 workbook. So I want to talk for a minute. I want to say that I appreciated very much that Jordan told me that she thought it was confusing when we were talking about 2/3 of a yard or 1/3 of a yard. So I just want to take a minute and do a visual to show you that. Okay, so look at this. I'm going to try to do this board back here. I think if I go up, yeah, look at that. Okay, so I am holding a meter stick, but we know that the other side of the meter stick shows yards. Okay, so here's my meter stick. Can you hold this for me, Dawson? You're like my Vanna White today. Okay, and hold it tight. I'm going to draw my 1 yard. So 0 inches to how many inches are in my yard? Who knows how many inches are in my yard? 36. Good job. Who said it? Good job, Jacob. 36. So here, keep holding it. Don't let me down. Here is 1 foot or 12 inches, and here is another foot. Okay, so on the board, look, you guys can look either way. You can see me back here or up there. It's awesome. Okay, this is 1 yard. This is 1 foot.
Is the Daily Math Show?
1 foot, yes it is, Hunter, with your host. And 1 foot. Okay? Now, we can see this is like a fraction bar. If this is the whole, then I haven't divided into thirds, right? And so 1 foot is how many, 1/3 is how many feet? 1. If I shade in 1/3, I have shaded in 1 foot. What if I shade in 2/3? How much is that? 2 feet. So if it asks you, like in number 4, 4 and 2/3 yards equals how many feet? Well, how many feet are in a yard? How many feet are in a yard? 3 feet are in a yard. So we know this part is just 4 times 3, which is 12, and then 2/3. So 13, 14. Does that make sense to see the picture that way? Does it make sense? Show me on your hand, 0 to 5. 0 means I think you are talking in a foreign language, and 5 means this is so simple I could explain it to someone else. Okay. Okay, so when you're looking at a whole yard, remember that if we divided that equally into 3 feet, that 1/3 would be 1 foot, 2/3 would be 2 feet. Okay, so we will keep practicing that, but that is what that means. So let's look at the ones that we have in our book. So we just did this one together, 4 and 2/3 yards. And then go ahead and write up here so you know how you came up with it. 4 times 3 is 12, and then we had to add 2 feet because each third of a yard is another foot. So that's 14 feet. 6 feet is how many inches? 6 feet is how many inches? Tell me what I need to do to solve that. I'm waiting on some hands. You guys had time to work on this yesterday. Dawson. 6 times 12, which is 72 inches. Okay. Okay. 8 yards is how many inches? Well, how many inches are in 1 yard? And one thing I did, Jacob and I looked at this a little bit. You can convert it to feet and then inches if that's easier. Please don't do that. Please turn around and face the front. So 8 yards is how many feet? How many feet is that? 24, because it would be 8 times 3, which is 24. And then what do I need to multiply to get inches? 24 times what to find out how many inches? Derek?
8.
No, how many inches are in a foot? There's 24 feet. 12. So then you have to do 24 times 12. Okay, did you guys solve 24 times 12? Or did you do 8 times 36? Did you do this one? I see some answers. How did you solve it? How'd you solve it, Harper?
What I did is I did kind of the same thing you did, but instead I did the other one that you said,
You did 36 times 8?
yeah.
And that's fine. I am just letting you know that if you don't know the conversion, you can convert it first to feet and then to inches. Okay, number 7, 28 yards is how many feet? How many feet are in 1 yard? 3. So you need to do 28 times 3. What did you get? Turn around. What'd you get, Dawson? 84. Okay, 18 feet is how many inches? What do I need to multiply? 18 times what? To find out how many inches. How many inches are in a foot? 12. So you have to do 18 times 12. Okay? So most of us probably need to do this. Tell me what you had for that answer. What'd you have? Kinsley.
12,320.
No, not on 18 times 12. 216. Just look at your zeros. I just think your zeros are off. 7 miles is how many yards? How many yards are in 1 mile? How many yards are in 1 mile? Harper. Huh? No. Only the metrics gives us numbers that easy. How many yards are in a mile? Aiden? 1,760. So I have to multiply 1,760 times 7. Can you please check your paper? Okay, so that's 7,000, 4,900, 420. What did you get when you did this? Oh, is this what you were saying?
Yeah.
What'd you get, Kinsley?
12,300.
12,320. Okay, so 1/3 of a yard. How many inches is that? 1/3 of a yard. How many inches is that? Every hand should be up. I just did this beautiful illustration back here. 1/3 of a yard. How many feet is 1/3 of a yard? How many feet is it, Gage? 1 foot, so it's how many inches? 12. Okay, 2.5 feet is how many inches? How many inches are in a foot? How many inches are in a foot? Andrew? 12. So 2 times 12 is 24. And then how many inches are in half of a foot? Here's your ruler. Okay? That's a whole foot is 12. So half of a foot is what? 6. So you need to add 6 more inches. I can tell you that on the test, people are missing this one because they're saying 24.5. It's not 24.5. You have to do inches for that half of a foot. Are you paying attention? Do you hear what I'm saying? Okay. 5 miles is how many feet? How many feet are in 1 mile? How many feet are in a mile? Jacob? 5,000. I think somebody's been studying their flashcards. 5,280 times 5. Who has an answer there? What'd you get? Why do I only have 1 hand up? 2 hands up. Lexi, what'd you get? Yep. What? No, we said 5,280 feet are in 1 mile. So you have to multiply that times 5. Why aren't you raising your hand? Nora? not 300, 26,400. Okay, and then the last one, 6 1/3 yards. How many feet are in 6 yards? Raise your hand. How many feet are in 6 yards? I see a few hands going up. How many feet are in 6 yards? Ellis? 18. And then what about that 1/3 yard? How many feet is that? 1 more foot, which makes it 19 feet. Okay? So it doesn't matter what we're converting. The conversion process is the same. It's still, what am I converting? Do I divide or multiply? And then use the equation. You have to use the conversion to figure out the answer. The steps are the same. The conversions are just different. And you need to know those conversions. Okay? Okay, we're still having our test on Friday.